Hello out there, and quick first look today at this newly released Spyderco Para 3 in the Digicam handle scales. But before I get into the knife, two really quick things I want to talk about, and the first is that in the shipment with this Para 3, I also received the new Chapparral with the Rafir Noble handle scales, as you can see here. Just really cool and unique scales that I'm extremely excited to have in my hands right now. So I have a first look video about this coming tomorrow. I will be talking about this one at length, so stay tuned for that. And then also, just for anyone who's interested in like modification videos, if you've liked those that I've done, I've got a recommendation for you. His name is Stasa23. I will link to his Instagram and his YouTube down below. And he's doing some really cool stuff when it comes to modifications right now. Getting into making handle scales and getting really good results actually. And not only that, but it's been a lot of fun for me to watch the process of him improving and overcoming some of the small obstacles that you come across anytime you're doing modifications a certain way for the first time. So just a really neat channel. Also, he has a great collection of knives and does really good reviews too. So if you're interested in that, like I said, I'll link down below to his stuff. All right, but moving right on to the Para 3. Here we are with the Digicam. I've got the regular Para 3 right above it because honestly, these knives are identical except for the scales. So we are going to focus on the Digicam itself, just to give you a look at that, because this is a highly debated topic, especially with the satin blade. You know, I was never really one to like the Digicam, to be honest with you, until I first got it in my hands. And I got Digicam on a Paramilitary 2, a blacked out one, and it grew on me. I liked it a lot. And wasn't sure that I would, but yeah, it did look pretty cool and was just a neat knife. But then when this one came out with the satin blade, again, just wasn't sure about it. So I picked it up and now I have it in my hands, and I've got to say, I'm still pretty happy with it. You know, would I prefer a black blade on this knife? Certainly, I definitely would. But overall, yeah, like I said, it's grown on me. I like the scales. There are some things about them that I don't love. You know, I wish it was a little bit more of a consistent pattern. I know you get that random pattern when you have the Digicam, but you know, I really like the darkness and the dark color on the backside here, and I wish it was sort of similar, you know, on the presentation side. But again, those are things you can't really control, and I think the only way that you can choose that is to actually like get a picture of your knife before you buy it online, or to buy it in a store in person. But overall, yeah, with the scales, when you look at them and you have almost that translucent, opaque kind of look on the inside, it's just a cool look. Yeah, and I enjoy it. One other thing, actually a couple other things when it comes to the functionality of this knife. Like I said, it was exactly identical to my first Para 3. And if you weren't on board with the channel at that time when I first got the Para 3, or maybe you don't remember, but this Para 3 was just a little bit stiff out of the box. And I tried to break it in and didn't quite break in the way that I wanted to, so I had to do a very minor adjustment of the pivot screw in order to let the knife free fall the way that I wanted to. Didn't affect lockup at all. I mean, it still locks up perfect, but it was just over tight out of the box. And this one here is exactly the same way. And that doesn't mean that it doesn't open and close well. I mean, it flicks open just fine, and it's perfectly smooth closing. There's no friction. It just doesn't free drop. So, you know, lockup is great, and I think it's one of those things that, you know, if it doesn't break in on its own in, you know, the first few days of use, probably something where the pivot screw will need to be adjusted again on that. But not really a big deal, just something I wanted to bring to your attention. One other thing, getting back to the G10, that I just want to touch on briefly is that I love the G10 on these paramilitary models. Absolutely love it. And I've seen a ton of people, and it's just one of those really popular things to do, is to make your knife your own and buy custom scales. But when it comes to the G10, as far as the functionality goes and the way that it feels in the hand, it's excellent. This is some of the best G10 I've ever come across. So, you know, just the grippiness of it, the way that it feels so soft, but, you know, the traction is excellent. Really, really like that. So unless I had a real problem with the look of the scale, there's no way that I would ever modify, you know, a paramilitary handle scale, because, like I said, they're just so comfortable, and I'm really, really impressed with that G10 overall. All right, so just trying to give you a couple more like last looks at the Digicam here, just to let you decide for yourself. I would love to hear down below what your take is on the camo models from Spyderco. Do you like it? Do you not like it? Do you like it with the black blade? Do you love it with the satin blade? Do you just hate it all? Let me know down below. Really interested to continue that discussion because a lot of people are very passionate about the topic. All right, but like I said, I've got that Chapparral on the way tomorrow, so really excited to talk about that one. Gents carry video is actually finished and will be posted later this week as well. So thanks very much for watching. Take care, and I will talk with you soon. Have a good one.